Good evening, dear friends. Bonsoir, mes amis, and welcome to tonight's Boys from the Baltic Star. It is Saturday night. We love a Saturday night here on the channel because on Saturday night we run a whole range of different games, one shots. We do some old fantasy books. We do some old weird games. We do some new weird games. We do some new cool games, and we do some homebrewed games. And tonight is one of those. The rule set for this, in fact, Ewan and myself came up with in a couple of evenings. Sat quite correctly. Sadly, not in a French cafe, which would have been perfect. But we put something together that, as a stream, we knew we would love, and we hope that you'd love it too. It's farcical. It's got bad accents. It's a beautiful accent, just done very badly, and a general bon vivant air. And we hope that you'll enjoy it. Tonight we're going to keep it relatively short. Life invades us all, as it tends to, just like the Germans invaded Nubion back when this game is set. And so
Too
we're
soon,
going to run.
Luke. Too soon.
Sorry, too soon. Yeah, sorry. We'll leave it another few years, see how we're going. We're going to run about 40-45 minutes, then take a little break, and then we'll do a second half as well. So we're all wrapped up nicely in bed, in the big Baltic Star bed together at a sensible time. I would offer you all to welcome to join us, but when we get to know you a bit better, perhaps. Please stay for as long or short as you want. 5 minutes is groovy by us. We would absolutely love to have you here for it. We appreciate that you tried us out. If you want to stay for the whole lot, that is cool too. If you want to chat, please feel free to chat. Captain Button has said hello, which is wonderful. John Legit is in the house for now, which we absolutely love to. We will join in the chat if we are not busy on stream, so sometimes even when we are busy. And most of our chatters are friendly, welcoming people. So if you want to chat, please feel free to chat and hang out. If you want to lurk, we very happy to have you just lurking, doing your own thing with us on. We really appreciate that. 2, anything you do say, you might find flows over somewhat into the game. It has a habit of that. And there's some things you can do by clicking the red sun that will also flow over into the game. Spend your Imperial credits. The expensive ones will enter the game. We keep things cheap in a lot of channels because we love interactivity. You can give my good friends and heroes a boon for 1,000. Get them to tell us a story. You can name a character. They become canon. They could be a German, French, English, Italian, whichever you fancy. Maybe a Greek man wandering in across the border. Strong as a bear, brave as a boxer. You never know.
The border between Greece and France, that is.
Exactly, it's an easy border.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
It's a very wide border. Anything with the pinky red background will play a little bit of a tune as well. Just have a click around, see what you like. We keep one thing for one credit, and we keep it all the time. And that's I'll drink to that. A lot of channels make people pay hundreds and hundreds to get us to drink. We like drinking, so we're going to keep it as one credit, and it's always going to stay one credit. So if we say something or you want to get involved and you agree to it, I'll drink to that. We'll raise a toast with whatever we're drinking at the time, hard or soft. Same with you. Raise a glass. We'll drink to that wonderful moment, and then we will continue on our way. As for who we are, well, I'm going to go up first because I have the power. My name is Luke. I'm in the bottom right-hand corner where I like to be quite often. Hello, I'm GMing this game tonight, which is called Listen Very Carefully, which is based on the old 80s comedy show Hello, Hello, a show that I got far too addicted to earlier in this year, and I love a lot. I love a watch through from time to time. The man who sort of came up with most of the rules with me and the setting is this man here. He's diagonally up. Look, there he is, under the first beret. He is looking very Parisienne this evening. He is the Floofmeister General, my brother from another mother, and the housewife's favourite up and down France. They wave their knickers at him as he walks past. He is the wonderful, the man with the Gallic flair, Ewan. Good evening, Ewan. How are you?
Bonsoir, Luke. I'm wonderful. I'm very excited.
You are wonderful.
True. No, I'm glad we're back for this nonsense, the hilarity that is Ben and I. trying to do the mission that I'm sure you'll tell us about soon.
Try. You can but try, dear friends. You can but try. Now, in your role of trying, who is it that you are encompassing, taking over the corporeal form and the mental capabilities of?
Tonight, Luke, I am Gerard Fard, a servant from the chateau who grew up with dreams of being an entertainer before he fell off the stage and damaged a leg that's left him with a rather bad limp on his left leg, exaggerated by the squeaky bicycle that he cycles.
He's a wonderful man. He's a man that takes things far too literally. Break a leg, of course, is just theatre parlance, but too
Not
bad.
for him.
Give us a little rundown of Monsieur Fad. What is he? What is he particularly good at? What are his strengths in life?
Well, he is obviously quite good at cycling, cooking, cleaning. He is reasonably trained in as a servant at the chateau. He has done a little bit of waitressing, some floor based entertaining rather than that of the stage due to the accident, and carousing, again, skills he picked up after his acting career was cut short, and he decided to take to the show of hosting, I suppose. He's also reasonably skilled at radios and codes and a bit of lockpicking, which is yet to come up, thankfully.
He is a man of much talent. Well, widely spread talent. Little talent, widely spread. I think it would be fair.
Yes, a Renaissance man, you may say.
True Renaissance man. I was going more for a caveman, but Renaissance works.
Yeah.
Speaking for a man who truly is a Renaissance man, and yet contains the jaw and the upper muscularity of a caveman, combining the two perfectly. He is the smartest man in any room. He lives his entire life in the Twin Peaks dream sequence, and is carried around Nouvion on a carefully curtained rickshaw by nakedly topped, shirtless, topless, heavily oiled French peasants with onions around their necks and a dream in their eyes. He is the wonderful Ben. Good evening, Ben. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Yes, very well indeed. Much looking forward to this. I always enjoy these little weird, quirky things that we do. I think are a real treat.
Oh, you're a treat. Nakedly topped is now canon in some way. I just couldn't get the word out. It's terrible.
I like it.
I'm writing it down. Nakedly topped. Ben, why don't you tell us a little bit about who you're going to be wandering, not nakedly topped, around Nouvion as this evening?
The name is Philippe Latrine. A youngish, middle-aged apprentice undertaker. Apparently, this is a career that takes a long time to get good at, because he's not a fully qualified one at 45. He is a bon vivant and a raconteur, but most of all, he's very much a peasant of caliber. A man who eyes things above his station and wishes he was a better man in many areas.
But there are some areas that he is relatively good at. What is Monsieur Latrine? What would you say his main capabilities are?
Well, he does seem to have a balanced life. He spends as much time and effort on working as he does on relaxing. He enjoys some of the finer things in life, and it makes him a competent cook. He has never bothered much with travel away from Nouvion, I don't think. but he's a skilled drinker, which I think is an important characteristic, especially in a French undertaker.
Mm.
And he has, during the course of the war and the occupation, developed some, admittedly, very modest skills with weaponry.
Would you say he's learnt a lot under Monsieur Alphonse?
um, One skill in particular that Alphonse has definitely given him is his talent for making the recently demised appear to be lifelike and full of joy. Gives him a decent handle on the use of prosthetic putty and makeup. He can do a little bit of disguise if needed.
Oh, splendid. Well, with two men such highly skilled, I'm sure you're going to have no problems completing the task at hand. But,
I'm less sure of that.
well, you're the ones that have been puttering through it so far, I guess. Uh, but for those that join us with a great sense of hope, misplaced hope in the two of you, in fact, I suppose I should let them know where we've got to so far. So, to those watching, bonsoir, mes amis. Thank you for joining us this evening. You may be wondering why you join us as a small Earse with a small Orse is slowly making its way past the German prisoner of war camp from the mortuary of Monsieur Alphonse, the wealthy undertaker with the dicky ticker. Well, the resistance, not the communist resistance, but de Gaulle's resistance. You know de Gaulle? Yes, he's the one with the big guitar. Yes, well, de Gaulle's resistance has emptied a bottle of perfectly good local cognac and filled it instead with far less delicious explosives before stashing the bottle at the mortuary. That's really hard to say with this bad accent. The home and business of Undertaker Monsieur Alphonse, the one local man for whom business during wartime has been booming. Their plan is to use the explosives in the bottle to blow the local German commanding officer, General von Klinkerhoffen, to Kingdom Come. However, getting into the Chateau Frontenac, the grandest manor house in Nouvion, requisitioned by the General to make for himself a comfy residence, is almost impossible for any Frenchman unless that Frenchman is a particularly pretty French woman or serving staff. Fortunately for the resistance, two new members have recently been placed in the town of Nouvion, and after a meeting with Claudette in the town's communal pissoir, Philippe Latrine and Gerard Fad found themselves suddenly central to the plot to blow up the General, the Big Poof. Latrine is covered an apprentice undertaker with Monsieur Alphonse, himself sympathetic to the resistance, would be familiar to the prisoner of war camp guards opposite and able to recover the bottle of not cognac from the mortuary, while Fad, installed as a servant at the chateau, would be able to gain entry to the chateau through the service entrance, and at least have a chance of getting the bottle near the bedroom of the general, where it was to be exploded by a hero of the resistance at night, at midnight, in the big boom. However, Messieurs Fad and Latrine have not gotten off to a glorious start. After making it to the mortuary, Fad had hidden in an empty coffin and found himself nailed inside by a drunken Alphonse. Once the situation had finally been explained to Monsieur Alphonse by Latrine and by an elderly forger, resistance member, and probable nutjob, Monsieur Leclerc, Fad was rescued and instead replaced inside the coffin by Philippe Latrine, gingerly clutching the small bottle of cognac and hidden from sight aboard Monsieur Alphonse's small Earse with the small Orse. Monsieur Leclerc part of the plan, was given the task to guide the Orse, while Monsieur Fad, he with the chateau key, was given the most important task of all, to follow behind the Orse and the Earse, shoveling precious Orse droppings, which the resistance will sell to the local florists to help fund their Christmas party. So this is where we rejoin this evening. The Orse slowly making its way out of Monsieur Alphonse's mortuary and approaching the prisoner of war camp, Gerard Fad hidden in the coffin, Philippe Latrine, shovel in hand, a bucket in the other, and feet already covered in Orse poop. Over to you.
Well, naturally, I'm tucked up nice and tight. So until until someone gives me a signal, I'm just going to assume that everything's fine.
For you, Monsieur Fad, you notice as you approach the prisoner of war camp that it's two different guards on the gates from when you passed previously. And could you please roll for me your regular D10? So this is the way it works for everyone. Every check, they will you get a D10 for free, and then depending on the level of their skill, they get extra dice. So Gerard Fad, for you, I will give you a D8 for your spying skill. It's recognizing other. It's like recognizing the enemy around you. But that is all I can give you. And with those two, you need to hit a 1 or a 2 to succeed. This is a tough check.
Oh. Is this not relaxing? I'm throwing my dice on the floor. Apparently it's not, because I'm chucking dice everywhere. Okay. 8 and a 10.
An 8 and 10.
Oh no, that's good. That's a 4 and a 1.
Oh, nice.
That's a 10, but that's on my percentile.
Yes. Oh, he's using percentiles. Oh, fancy.
It's the first one I found.
You notice the two guards have taken notice of you and are indeed walking over to investigate somewhat. Just starting to.
How far? Okay. Are they reasonable?
Yeah, they're still probably 15-20 meters away. Hello, Kelly. Bonsoir. Welcome, mon ami. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. It is a pleasure, of course.
Gerard will pick up a shovel load and put it in the back of the hearse.
The little hearse.
The little hearse, and whisper somewhat firmly towards the coffin. Keep quiet. Keep quiet, Philippe. There's guards approach, and then he'll saunter back, drop out of pace with the hearse, and look at the floor with his shovel.
Halt! Halt! Stop that hearse! Monsieur Leclerc, you sort of see him, Gerard, you see him sort of shockingly stand up and pause and like do a bad salute, a bad Nazi salute, and quickly click his feet together and look incredibly uncomfortable at the soldiers, who then look towards you.
They will stop and throw up his hands with a shovel in.
Dear sir, with the poopy shoes, what are you doing?
I'm following the hearse, the small hearse.
Oh, it is a very small hearse. Sorry, I'm French there. It is a very small hearse. Why is us traveling at this time?
We are walking taking the small horse out for a walk.
Oh, I see that this small horse might need a walk, but why with this small hearse?
The hearse is for collecting the manure. We will sell the manure on.
Interesting. I guess that you are saving the poop in this coffin. Is this coffin
No.
full of? Is it full of the poop?
No, the hearse is full of the poop. The coffin is waiting to be interred tomorrow.
Ah, it is not very disrespectful to inter the coffin with the poop.
He does not know.
Peasant, who is to be interred as a local?
I do not know. I can only assume. You should speak with the undertaker. I am merely the shoveler of poop.
Show me in the coffin. I must see for myself. There's been many people trying to escape as a prisoner of war camp. We do the best for them, and yet they still want to escape. Very, very strange.
Very, very, very strange indeed. Let me call the undertaker, and I'll shout forwards to. Sorry, who's driving?
Monsieur Leclerc, the 40.
Leclerc. Monsieur Leclerc.
It is he.
It is, yes. Yes.
The Germans wish to look in the coffin.
Oh, it is very difficult to get in the coffin. It is very sad. The poor lady, we are taking her to be buried right now. The guard looks at you, Shahad. You said it was the man tomorrow. Why say the lady tonight?
As I say, I'm merely here to shovel the poop.
Could you please roll for
It
me?
makes no difference to me.
Have a D10. Have a D8 for
Thanks.
peasanting, because there's nothing more peasanting than shoveling poop.
No, that's true.
Have a D10 for spying, because you're working sort of undercover. And I think that's probably all I can give you right now. A D10 and 2 D8s.
Not floor, because the poop is on the floor.
No.
Different type of floor.
I was considering cooking and cleaning, because it's kind of cleaning.
It is kind of cleaning. Oh, okay. That is a 10, an 8, and a 5. I'm not even going to bother showing those.
Just embarrassing to show.
Yes.
You peasant! He looks at you, Jihad. Open this coffin. We want to see if this person inside is truly dead.
The coffin was nailed shut. Is that correct, Luke?
Somewhat. It was about half as many nails as you would normally expect to go in there.
Okay. Gerard would drop the shovel and climb into the back of the hearse. I look what my shoes are even more poopy now.
Well,
And
maybe
shake
they
it
will
off.
call you Monsieur Poopy Shoes around New York.
And shake it off and try and scrape some of it off on an edge on the coffin, and then lean over and try and lever up the coffin with his hands. Nothing, no tools.
No tools. Roll a D. How hard are you trying?
Not particularly hard enough to make it look like I am.
Okay, then roll a D10 and a D8 for me, please.
That's a 1 and a 6.
Oh God!
You as you sort of half-heartedly pull up, putting all the weight, doing the thing that you pulling from the shoulders rather than the elbows. You're doing that. Making it
And
red in the face.
I'll talk through it as well. Yes. I will open the coffin for you.
Despite yourself, though, you do due to that roll of 1, you do manage to one or two of the half-heartedly driven in nails sort of ping up a little bit, and the coffin lid starts to creak open a little bit, and the guard looks at you very impressed. Oh, so you're very strong. With the bare hands.
But of course, it's all of the shoveling. Look, there's a peak. It's open enough to see in.
Inside, Monsieur Latrine, you've noticed that it is opened by. I'm going to work out what end it's opened by. Actually, that's very exciting. Let's find out. By your head end. It's dark inside. It will be dark to anyone that looks in, you would hope, but you can see the beam of light, and you sort of see Jahad Fard's annoying, stupid, idiotic, overly strong arm faces from ruining potentially your life. A man that you could not hate any more than you hate right now for putting you in this position. And you hear the crunching on the ground of a German officer approaching.
Obviously, I'm playing dead.
Well, obviously. For this, I'm going to give you some rolls.
Okie dokie.
I'm going to be generous in the rolls. Bear in mind, yes, you can have a D10.
Mm-hmm.
I will give you the 2 D8s for peasanting, because it's a peasanting thing, being dead. Lots of peasants died.
Okie dokie.
And I'll give you a D6 because you're trying to relax.
Yeah, I was going to say definitely relaxing.
and you're getting a D4 for your disguise skills because you're disguising yourself as dead.
Oh, okay.
I'm being generous, but I think we could make an argument for all of those. I think.
Yep.
Fantastic. That's a D10, 2 D8s, a D6, and a D4.
Yep, to hit a 1 or a 2.
To hit a 1 or a 2, yeah. Okie dokie. Let's see what we get. Well, it's good I had all of them.
Oh, really?
The D6 came up with a 2.
Oh.
Nice.
Other than that, I had a 4, a 5, a 3, and a 9.
Are you doing it with your eyes open or your eyes closed?
Eyes closed. It's how we normally do them, you understand?
Well, of course. Yeah, eyes like, oh! And someone looks at the coffin to say goodbye to their dear old grandmother. And their hands like this. You know how you can see changes in light even with your eyes closed, unless you scrunch them up heavily.
Mm-hmm.
You're lying there. You sort of take your breath in. You still everything, close your eyes, and you sense that the moonlight give way to darkness, and you get that sense of someone right nearby. You feel the breath. You can smell the alcohol on the man's breath. You can smell the bratwurst. You can smell the sauerkraut and all the other stereotypical German flavors. Almost makes you you're a man, you're a fussy man, I think it's fair to say, with high standards, and it almost makes you flinch at the combination he's put together just isn't right. But you hold it all together, and he backs away, and you hear his voice, Philippe. Ah, this man must have been killed in a terrible accident. This is terrifying. Charging, he's gone ashen white and he looks absolutely shocked and upset.
It would appear that way, but that's merely the effects of the disease.
What is this disease?
I'm not a doctor. I just know that the man at the mortuary said that if anything starts to bleed after being near the coffin when it is closed, that I should consult a mortician.
Why did you not tell me this before? Shut the coffin. Keep this horrible, disgusting creature inside until it is safely in the ground.
Yes, of course.
And when you have buried it, burn it. And then bury the ashes.
Once it is buried, we shall burn it and then rebury. Yes, of course.
Quickly, go on your way. This is terrible. This is And he sort of grabs his friend and storms back over to the gate of the prisoner of war camp. Michel Leclerc looks at you, very upset, Gerard. I cannot take it, Monsieur Fad. You take charge of the little Orse for a little while. I will take the poop. And he grabs the bucket and the spade from you without another word. Just stands at the back, making himself look busy.
But I don't know what horses do. Fine, and I'll go to the front. And he will do the only thing he knows how. He will attempt to mount the horse, as you would a bike, and start geeing it on and pedaling with his little legs with an odd limp.
Oh, take a D10, a D8 for your peasanting. I'll give you a D4 for your cycling. You don't deserve it, but you know.
So I certainly don't. I wasn't expecting it, but thanks.
Bikes and horses are pretty much the same thing, aren't they?
Yeah.
Just one night.
I'm sure they are. Yeah. Cool. That's a 9, a 4, and a 3.
Oh, yeah.
It's not looking good.
You clamber up onto the horse and you start pedaling your feet in midair and sort of geeing it up, and squeezing on its ears as if it was like brakes on handlebars or something. The little horse does not take very well to this, and immediately whinnies loud and careens off at as fast a pace as possible. As you're sort of clinging on for dear life, you sort of half look back and you see Monsieur Leclerc vanishing, stunned, like having dropped his shovel and his bucket in the background, as you and the horse are steaming down the road willy-nilly. You're desperately clinging on them. Philippe, inside, you're gingerly clinging onto explosives being thrown about in the coffin left, right, and centre.
Oh yeah, the explosives. I will immediately stop pedaling, of course, and squeeze hard on the ears to try and activate the brakes.
Yeah, sick. The squeeze has totally the opposite effect as the horse lets out a howl and careens off sideways, uh, briefly sort of down a small ditch, which Philip, I need you to roll something here. Could you please roll a? I'll give you a D8, two D8s for peasanting. Careening across a field feels very peasanty to me. A D10,
Ooh.
and you can take a D4 for geography. You know how fields work.
I do know how fields work, or possibly viticulture.
You're wishing you're drinking right now.
Yeah, it just depends on what kind of field it is, I suppose. Right, okay. So, 2d8s, a d10, and a d4. Great. The d4 came up nice. That's a 1 on that. The others were an 8, a 5, and an 8.
Okay. You manage, as it's bumping up and down, you sort of remember when you come in how you sort of guess where you are and the size of the dip at that moment, and you brace for it as it streams off, and you hold the bottle of explosives tightly, and so as it sort of jumps down and then up again, you sort of clench it, and you manage to not like jolt high against the lid or the sides of anything, and you're holding it together for now. But you are being jostled around inside the coffin that's got the slightest crack still open, and you're sort of seeing trees and stars flashing past, and Gerhard Fard's anguished cries for the horse to stop as it's streaking across a field, whinnying quite loudly.
Yeah, that's good. I will. If you can imagine, I'm sort of pressing my elbows into the sides and my sort of feet out as broad as I can to brace myself as best I can in the coffin, and using my hands to actually hold the bottle as firmly as I can in the middle of my chest, so it doesn't bounce off the sides of the coffin or anything.
Yeah, that makes absolute sense. The role you made, Ball. That's cool. That's good for now. You've got the position. Good role. You know how it works, and yeah, that's good. You're safe for the moment. But you, Shahad Fad, you going for the ears again?
No, Gerard. He is no smart man, but he can put that one and one together and stop squeezing the ears, stop pedaling, and he will hold on around the neck of the horse and just gently caress it with his hand. Whoa, calm, and shout back, hold on tight, latrine. We are experiencing some difficulties.
Not knowing exactly what's happening outside, I'm not going to say anything out loud, but under my breath, I'm going to be muttering some French obscenity.
Shahad, please roll for me a D10, a peasanting, D8, and a D6 for stings.
Things, yes.
Things.
The horse being a thing.
It's not the horse that's a thing, unfortunately for you.
That is a 1, a 4, and a 3.
That is good. You
one
see,
on the D6.
You see rapidly approaching towards you a rather large and prickly looking hedgerow that the horse is still streaking towards at full pace. You're clinging on around its neck as well as you can, but it's
How long have I
definitely
got?
been bounced around. 10 seconds max.
Okay, we'll give it 5 seconds of calming. Whoa. And then if that doesn't work, I will look to uncouple the horse from the hearse.
The horse from the Earse.
Indeed.
It doesn't calm the horse. that's still it feels like it's preparing itself to take a jump over the hedge, best it can. It seems to it's sort of changed its footstep approach to sort of get itself ready to take the hedge if it can.
Yeah. Is there a way I can loose the restraints to uncouple the horse?
You can give it a go. It's you've not got very long. Go D8, a D10, and that's what you're getting at this low level.
Okay. No, that's 2 5s.
2 5s. You're sort of scrabbling around in the last few seconds, unable to. There's definitely ways to unhook it, but it's quite complex. There appears to be buckles, there appears to be hooks and things like that. It'd probably take you minutes rather than seconds. Latrine, you're inside. You're sort of you're sensing the change in pattern of the horses running, and through that crack, you're seeing the sky flashing by, and you're seeing the bushes closing in, which tells you that a hedge is incoming, or something of its type, knowing the local geography.
Okay, obviously the lid has already been pulled open enough, hasn't it?
Yeah, there's definitely a crack. You've got a good. There's probably about 6 nails holding the whole thing down, and 2 have been creaked open. You've got and those 2 have given a good crack that size in it.
Okay, but it's not like the lid was bouncing up and down as we were moving. It's still firmly attached, just not very.
Now that
sturdily.
is a very good question. I can tell you that. I'm going to tell you for each of the other. I'm going to tell you for each of the other nails. This is a good question. Okay, from what you can tell, one of the nails near your feet has not really budged, but another 3 seem to have lifted somewhat. As you said before, they were only half-heartedly nailed in, and the lid does appear to be bouncing somewhat. We're jumping back a few seconds here from that sort of 10 because it feels only right that you've got the same amount of time to make decisions in. So I'd say with about 15 seconds left to tell, you can see that the lid is bouncing itself up.
At this point, I'm essentially unclear whether we are being chased, whether
Yeah, that's true.
whether this is an emergency situation, and obviously I need to protect the cognac. So I'm going to try and sit up enough to push up the lid just a little bit, and look down past my past my head, to crane my head back to see if we're being followed, basically, over the back of the Earse.
Of the Earse. Well, anyone watching would see the strange sight as the horse is careening past, and Monsieur Fard, holding the horse's neck desperately, would see the coffin's lid creak upwards, and a terrifying-looking man, a rugged feature, suddenly lean up out and look back behind, and you see nothing following you.
Okay, so looking down past my feet, can I actually see Gerard?
You can. Gerard is being bumped around, buffeted around on the horse, is clinging closely to the neck, and past him you can see the hedge, which for you now is about 10 seconds away.
Okay, I mean, any impact we have with the hedge or whatever is going to cause less of an impact than me throwing myself out of the coffin. So I'm going to lie back down again and brace the explosive cognac as best I can against my belly and try to make it as soft a landing as possible. And silently thank the fact that coffins are transported feet first. So when we hit something,
it's going to land okay.
I'll be able to use my knees to brace us a bit.
Okay, you've taken your plan. Gerard, you're in that last few seconds, you see the whites of the horse's eye. It's only a little loss, but it's running for its life. It takes a leap, and its front leg's actually clear. This hedge, the front legs aren't tied down so much with the Earse. You know, it's got some strength in its front. And there's this brief moment where you think, we're going to make this. This is incredible. It's incredible. And the little Orse takes a leap. And your body is halfway over the hedge as the pull of the hearse. It's only a little Earse, but still forces the little Orse down. Its back legs catch in the hedge, and you feel the horse start to stagger forwards, and it jolts the little Earse, which had sort of the front wheels had gone up a little bit, and that crashes down into the hedge. Jahad, I need you to roll for me. A peasanting, a D10. This is definitely not relaxing, but I will give you a cycling because that's all about balance.
I have braced for many impacts on the bike.
The bike.
There's a 1, a 5, and a 2. All good numbers. Not all, but
you managed to cling on desperately to the little Orse, and as it sort of lands, you hear this crash behind, and you hear snapping of belts and buckles and so on. Things have been caught up quite heavily in the bush, and you're on the Orse, and you are riding free across the next field with loads of chains and buckles dangling behind you, a little bit of wood from the connection to the little Orse.
No loud explosion behind?
Oh, that's a very good question.
Because that will very much impact my decision.
Hey, Oliver. Hey, Pirate.
And it may be plot relevant.
Hey, IMT.
IMT, thank you for joining us. We're joined by IMT. If you're here for the first time, you don't know who the Infinite Monkey Tales are, they are amazing. They just had one of our favourite people, Jonathan Hicks, running his new game on stream for them, Pressure. Have we got a link for Pressure from Osprey? If not, have we got one, Ewan?
I can grab it. I don't know if there's one.
If not, John, you can type a link if you want. That is absolutely legit and fair in our channel. Jonathan Hicks is an amazing game designer. We're full of brilliant game designers. John Legit's a brilliant game designer.
He is.
But Jonathan Hicks has got his new release that's just been released through Osprey Games. There it is, Pressure, the follow-up to Those Dark Places, which we love and we play. We adore. And go check out that. Go check out Infinite Monkey Tales. That's one of our absolute favourite channels for
sure.
Role-play gaming. They do kind of what we do, but better. They play a whole mix of games. Basically, they play sci-fi, they play Cthulhu, they play pulp stuff, they play all sorts of things. Definitely check them out and check Osprey Games. I think my mum and dad are getting Pressure for my Christmas, so that's nice.
Ooh,
fantastic!
I'm very happy about that. Anyway, Monkey Tales, you join us with Jahad Fad on the back of the little Orse that is just detached from the little Earse, leapt over a hedge. It's all Jahad Fad's fault that the horse rushed through a field as it was. He squeezed its ears and tried to ride it like a bicycle.
That's the only experience he has.
And poor old Philippe Latrine shut in the coffin with a bottle of explosives. He's clinging onto it tightly. You feel the front of the little Earse go up, Philippe, and you feel it crash down again. And you feel that sudden jolt of the pressure of the horse, that moment of tension. The snap happens. The whole front of the little Earse, which is the less flash Earse after all, not the big Earse for fancy occasions, drawn by 4 big Orses. This is the little Earse with the little Orse. You feel the whole front crumple and crack, and you feel yourself sliding feet first, and that's all you know, downwards.
Okay.
Quite a pace.
I will obviously try to brace myself inside the coffin in the hope that I can actually stop the brace my feet against the end of it, so that I can absorb any impact. Well, I say any impact. There's obviously going to be an impact. The question is whether I can absorb it.
Oh, what a hero you are! Please roll for me a D10, a 2d8,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to give you. And I've got a reason for this. I'm going to give you a D4 for drinking, and that is because you're a man who strikes me that he's wandered home at night with a half-finished bottle of wine after drinking quite heavily for the evening, and knows how to make sure a bottle doesn't smash even if he falls over slightly drunk.
Ooh.
Okay, and I have a boon apparently.
Yes, I'll give you that in a D6 form. You can have a boon in D6 form.
I was going to say his character also probably has that staggering home saving a bottle thing as well.
I'm not giving Ben bonuses just for himself.
There's not enough
For my own
bonuses to
personal
cover it.
talent.
I basically just going to get boons for being the smartest man in the room all the time.
Protecting
exactly.
alcohol from misadventure is definitely a talent.
It started as a joke. I don't actually want to kill off Ben's character.
Okay. I have a 5 and a 4.
Yeah, that's good.
And 2 2s and a 1.
Oh, that is good.
That's good.
You cling on to the bottle for dear life, which it probably is for dear life. And the coffin crashes onto the ground. You brace in the knees. You sort of take it in the knees. You get that brief shooting pain up the legs where you've taken a sudden impact, and the coffin crumples and shatters underneath your legs, and you are left laid out at the foot of a hedgerow, the other side to where Gerard Fard and the horse are. The coffin splayed open, and you left on a dewy grass in the remains of a coffin and a little Earse, clutching a bottle of explosives that hasn't exploded.
Can I see Fad from here?
You can hear him sort of trying to woe the horse as it's off the other side of the hedgerow. You can't see him.
Okay. Then I'm going to very gingerly sit up. and then stand up very carefully so as not to unnecessarily mess with the explosives.
Yeah.
And say, "Come here, Fad, I have something to hit you with."
Assuming I don't hear an explosion.
You don't hear an explosion. You just hear a very angry assistant undertaker.
Fad will give one last stroke to the horse's mane and whisper in its ear, "Be free, mon petit horse," and jump off and try and roll it out.
Oh, nice. That feels to me like a D10, a D8 for a bit of peasanting, a D8 for entertaining, the olden days.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Definite floor work.
And a D. No, I'll give you a D4. I'll give you a D4 for your cycling. You've probably fallen off your bike a lot of times, especially with your dodgy leg.
In fact, I think I did on the way here, on the way to the mortuary.
You did.
You can't give him a D4 for cycling because he was attempting to pedal the horse down the hill.
That is a 10, a 5, and 2 2s.
You style it out. You roll around. You sort of the dew of the grass envelops you. You're soggy from foot to beret. But as you sort of your momentum continues to pop you straight up into a standing point, facing Philippe Latrine and the desire to raise both hands in a gymnastic celebration. Is right there.
Which you will do before lowering them. Shouting across the field, do not threaten me, Philippe. That's the second bicycle I've lost tonight.
I may be seeing where you are going wrong here.
He'll start walking back towards him.
Yes, I will meet up with him. Where are we roughly relative to the chateau?
Well, when you left the mortuary, it was about a 45-minute journey to the chateau with the Orse and the Earse.
And
which,
let's face it, is not like racing equipment.
No. And now you're about a 40-minute journey to the chateau.
But that horse was going so fast when I was coming to its back.
Immediately turning.
We've clearly made excellent progress. And okay, so when we are back together close enough, I'm going to obviously show Fad that the bottle is undamaged, and then tuck it back in my pocket.
Yes, I assumed when I did not hear a loud boom.
Yes, it is true. It might have been noticed even by you. What were you doing to that poor horse?
It is that idiot Leclerc's fault. He said he had had enough of sitting down, relaxing, and driving the hearse, and told me to take over, and I did. He gave me no instructions, no basic horse training, and so I. Well, and he gestures back towards the little hearse.
Yes. Okay. Do you know the way to the chateau from here, wherever we ended up?
And Gerard looks around. Do I know the way to the chateau from here, Luke? Where we ended up?
Gerard. I'll tell you what. Philippe is more likely. He has geography. You can both take a roll if you want.
Yeah, okay.
To see if you know across. Both take a D10. Gerard take a D8, and that's probably it. But then I'll give you as you're a servant at the chateau, but you kind of know where it is, not from here. You can have a D6 as well, because you know where the chateau is.
Yeah, you think so.
Cheers, Kelly. Thank you for joining us. Merci
Thanks,
beaucoup. Philippe, D10, 2 D8s, and you get a D6 for your working and a D4 for your geography.
Okay. D10, 2 D8s, a D6, and a D4. Okay.
Yes, please. So 1 or 2 in your view.
Yep. I've got a 10, a 4, a 3, and a pair of 1s.
Ooh,
very nice. I have a 7, a 5, and a 2.
Okay. Gerard, you're pretty sure the direction. It's over there. It's a long way over there, but it's over there. You know it by where the star constellations as you look up from time to time. Philippe, you know that it's from where you are. You know how to get back to Nouvion, and then out the other side of Nouvion, you're pretty sure you could do it without. You know pretty much where you are. You know, get back on the road, get to Nouvion, get there, you're fine. You know how to do it.
All right. Okay. So I have a question for you, Gerard. Do we get back to the road and go through Nouvion? Or do we divert from the road and cut cross country toward the Chateau direct? Because if we go through the town, the road is good and we can find the way easily, but we could be spotted, yes?
Yes. I suppose if we are still taking the little Earse, with the road would be more preferable.
The little Earse is demised, my friend.
Well, in that case, we can take it cross country as well. Just not just whatever we can fit into our pockets.
Excellent. Well, my largest pocket is very full.
It is, but a little less.
The good news is I no longer require the toilet.
Latrine.
Could you both please roll a D10?
Yes.
Shahad a D8, Philippe 2 D8s, and Shahad another D8, please. That's for spying.
D10 and 2D8s for me. Yep.
Yeah, for both of you, please. And you can have 3 D8s, Philippe.
Okay.
And we'll see if it works.
Nope.
I have 1, 3, 5, and 7.
Philippe, as you're talking and laughing about how you soiled yourself so embarrassingly, you notice the sound that you're pretty sure you recognise as a German motorbike, and it sounds like it's probably coming closer to you directly. It sounds like it's coming from the direction of the POW camp.
Okay. Well, we are thankfully right by a little copse of trees, aren't we?
You are, yes.
I'm going to say to Gerard, mon ami, I hear a motorcycle which sounds like an enemy one. Quick, let's hide, and point down into the little ditch that I found myself kind of clambering out of just a moment ago, and scamper down into there amid the wreckage of the little Earse, and hide, not with the little Earse in case that's what he's coming to see, but in the same copse.
Gerard will see Latrine pointing towards to presumably where he no longer found the need to go to the toilet.
Exactly.
Oui, mon ami, and join him. Just remember, if they try and take us alive, use what is in your pantaloons.
I do not think that will kill me quickly.
No. The explosives. The
that is in my jacket.
Then what is that?
I am just that happy to see you. Forgive me, it has been a tense night. So we will, I will attempt to hide from oncoming German motorcycle.
Indeed.
It's. I assume it sounds slightly more BMW than Peugeot, basically.
Yes, exactly. There's a much more throaty growl to it, well maintained. Whereas a lot of the motorcycles you would know from locally are starting to putter out a little bit. They've been fixed and replaced with, hammered together parts, whereas these are good, well maintained motorcycles.
It's very unfair.
It is, isn't it? As the two of you hide amongst the wreckage and the wee. And unfortunately, because of Shahad Fard deciding to stash horse poo on the Earse rather than just in the bucket that he had, splattering some that as well.
Yes, all of the trees in the copse have been sort of pebble dashed with horse poop.
You do make out on the the field you went through is crops, but they're quite low, still sort of ankle height, and you can see caught against the skyline, the sight of a darkened motorbike. It's got a light, but it's been dimmed. Like a lot in wartime, a lot of lights would be dimmed quite a lot. It's no doubt they'll turn it on brightly when they start looking for things, but for now they're coming across. The light's not directly on you, but they seem to be coming closer as if they're sort of starting to look. It's definitely a German bike, though. Philippe, you can tell that from when it gets closer. And as it gets halfway across the field, you hear a psst, psst from in the copse. Psst.
I'm going to turn around and look at the psst, which I'm sort of hoping isn't a leaking gas cylinder or something.
It's not, from what you can tell. You can't see a leaking. You can see a leaking. You can't see a leaking canister. But you can't see it. The psst seems to come from slightly deeper in the copse of trees. Psst. Hey.
Hello? Who is there?
Hello?
Listen very carefully. I should say this only once. And that's where we're going to break for now. Kind of pardon trick on a bit classic. We're going to take a break there, and it's going to be short, and then literally we're coming back, guys, for like 25 minutes or something. It's my fault. I went long on the first half, but everyone needs a break, so that's what the pinging was for. Ewan was sending me messages saying, "Give me a break."
Sorry. Does it?
I can hear the clicking. Yeah, you hear the ping. I can hear the click.
My fault.
Everyone knows when you're talking.
I was trying to be subtle.
Yeah, everyone knows. Subtlety is not your strength. You've got many strengths, Ewan.
That is not. It certainly is not.
We can go 5-minute break. Everyone, do what you need to do. We'd love to see you back to find out who is the owner of the voice, and we shall return for the short second half of Listen Very Carefully Tonight.
Excellent.
Welcome back, mes amis. Merci beaucoup for hanging around, and welcome to the second half of Listen Very Carefully with our heroes. I don't know if we can use heroes with our blundering peasants. Philippe Latrine and Gerard Fad, and good evening, Jean Legitimine. Merci for joining us. For those of you that we always do this at the end, but I'm going to switch to this for this bit. We always mention these what we're doing next week at the end, and after people are gone. But we want to respect John and we want to honour him in this. Next week, on Saturday, we're going to play the next Tony and Rudy adventures. They are on the Danube, or next to the Danube, should I say at the minute, in a cafe. It's, if you like, Agatha Christie, Poirot, a bit of Sherlock Holmes, a bit of Indiana Jones, like late 30s sort of vibe, then come along. John stars in that with these two as well. And it's a wonderful evening of enjoyment, and John is spectacular at it. He is truly the star of the show, and it's a treat to have him. So next Saturday from 11 p.m. UK time, which is about 7 in the morning his time or something. I know it's ridiculous. He never sleeps that man. But yeah, join us for that. So, but back to this evening, we have but a short time, my friends. Philippe and Gerard are hiding in the copse as the Germans bombing over to them on a motorbike with the smashed tiny Earse with Ospu and Philippe Oui. And there's a pss, pss, pss. They look around and they hear the voice. Listen very carefully. I shall say this only once.
Philippe, do you recognize the person who is making the pisting noises in the crops?
I cannot see. I can only hear, but it does not sound like a squirrel.
Quick, you fools! It is I, Michel of the Resistance. If you want to live, come with me.
I do want to live. So I will hurry towards the voice as quickly and quietly as I can.
Gerard nods at the wanting to live and follows.
Quick, put these coats on. She sort of hands you two Big Macs, like grey Macs.
Two Big Macs.
I had hungry.
Whoa! alternate timeline.
The Americans have entered the war.
Oh, finally.
At last. Okay. Right.
This one has extra pickles.
I will pull on the coat, trying to do so as subtly as possible, obviously. So I don't want to attract the attention of random motorcyclists.
But now the bike's pretty close. It's about 50, 60 meters away from the wreckage, but you are seemingly hidden in the copse. Now, you two, follow me. I can whisk us away like a phantom.
It sounds good to me. I will follow.
Yeah, indeed. Luke, sorry, just quickly, are these resistance coats?
Yes.
Is it the same as?
You can see the
Just
lady,
on my visual.
the lady talking to you has
Experience.
a resistance coat and a beret. She has dark hair, about shoulder length, and little white ankle socks and black shoes. She's carrying a small handgun pistol, which she sort of points in the direction away for you to follow. There's also a few other resistance girls, each a couple with submachine guns and another with a pistol. But they are dressed in a very similar way to the girl that you're meeting, Claudette, that you're meeting earlier in the evening.
Yes, but Gerard certainly follows as well.
Okay, now quietly. And she sort of stalks off through the shadows, keeping her head down below the hedgerows. The other side. Sort of, you've gone through and you're out the other side, away from the wreckage. Just as she says quietly, you hear a load of machine gun fire from the resistance. They start firing at the motorbike, and you hear the motorbike stop, and you hear gunfire back at them as she whisks the two of you away.
Okay. Subtlety is not her forte, then.
No, I would say not.
Okay, well, I'm definitely following her. I'd be doing so even if she wasn't armed and potentially very dangerous.
Keeping her head down, she's moving very quickly, like she knows the ground. It feels like she's very stable-footed. There's little dips and troughs that she sort of traverses well. She moves quietly and effortlessly. Whereas for you two, Philippe, a D10, 2 D8s for peasanting, a D6 for working, and a D4 for geography, please.
D10, 2D8, D6, D4. Yep.
Gerard, a D10, a D8 for peasanting, and you can have another D10 for spying, please, because of that silent sort of moving.
D10 for spying, or did you say?
So a D10 and a D8 for peasanting,
2D.
and a D8 for spying.
Cool.
Okay. I have a 3, 4, and a 7, but I also have a 1 and a 2.
Nice.
Ooh. I have 2 3s and a 1.
You'll both be able to keep up with her. And she looks back and she nods quite respectfully at that, without breaking a stride, of course. And it's not long, probably 5 minutes or so, and you reach a kind of an outhouse, the edge of an outhouse, and she crouches down in the shadows, away from the road, and waits for the two of you just to catch up. You're just a few meters behind. Do you have the explosives?
Tell me first which resistance are you with? Very well.
The girls' resistance. I am the one that sent Claudette to meet with you early in the evening in the pissoir. I am Michel of the Resistance, head of the Resistance here in Nuvion.
It is good to make your acquaintance. Yes, I have the explosives.
Quick, give it to me.
What, here? There are people around.
No, you fool! It's explosives.
It's
Explosives.
Look, this may be France, but even then, these are pressing times.
I reach into my pocket and pull out this bottle and hand it to her. Be careful with it. It has had a rough night, as have I.
Spending time in your trousers? I'm not surprised. Ah, merci, monsieur. Now, you two, you fools. What is that? Why? I had the explosion, I had the crash, I saw the Orse, the small Orse. I saw the crash of the small Earse. Why were you riding over the field like this? This was a simple mission.
well, perhaps I should explain the horse bolted. Was unfamiliar with my riding style.
Wait. You were riding the Orse?
I was given no instruction by the idiot Leclerc.
Now, Monsieur Leclerc is the hero of France.
Now, he may very well be, but he's no horse riding trainer.
I've had to send some of my girls to rescue him from the Germans. Because of that, and because of the Earse and the Orse, and because of you two, there is no chance we can take out von Klinkhofen tonight in the big boom. You have put us back days, if not weeks.
There are still hours for the night.
The Germans, they are crawling everywhere.
Have they had a lot to drink?
Only the ones from Cafe Rene.
Ah,
Speaking of which, we need to get you to a safe house tonight. And we'll talk more in the morning. The closest one is Cafe Rene in Neuville. Come with me, I will take you there now.
I like every part of the phrase safe house.
I do have a job in the morning. They will be expecting me at the chateau.
I will send a girl with a message to say to cover for you.
I don't know what you think it is that I do there, but the general will be very pleased.
The general is always pleased when we send the girls. Now, quickly, follow me. We need to get to town while the Germans are still searching the streets and the hedgerows. Stick to the shadows and follow me.
As you wish.
Okay. Yes, do my best to follow her exactly. Yes.
So, Monsieur Latrine, why is it that you became a member of the resistance?
I had a number of reasons, to be honest. But the most important, by far, was shortly after the occupation began, I saw a German soldier drinking a bottle of cognac. And it was a lovely cognac. And he drank it like it was the cheapest schnapps. And I thought, these men are not fit to be the guardians of the culture of France.
Spoken like a true man of France. Monsieur Latrine, you are an honorable man. How about you, Monsieur Fad? What brought you to the resistance? I'm sure I heard of your name years ago on the stage, did I not?
Yes, of course. My famed acting career cut short by the tragic accident, and he gestures towards the left leg. I was cycling home one evening when I found myself caught short and in desperate need, and I visited Latrine, not gestures towards me, and that is where I met Claudette, and here I am now.
You know, you two, we had such high hopes. But you're back now where you belong, at the bottom. and I hope that over the coming days and weeks, we can find a way to make you heroes of France. Are you willing to die for France?
When you say die, you mean
I mean, croque. I mean take your last breath. I mean snuff it. Die for France is the biggest honor of any resistance fighter.
will someone be singing La Marseillaise?
Oh, of course, Monsieur Fad. I'm sure they'll be singing it. I can picture your death now, cycling an horse wildly as uh, as Madame Edith from the cafe sings Le Marseillaise. Is an incredible way to go, no?
It's all I could have dreamed of.
How about you, Monsieur Latrine? Are you willing to die for France?
I am willing, if that is the only choice. If there is another choice, perhaps I will go for that.
Michelle pauses and sniffs the air and sort of sniffs closer to your trousers, I guess. Not like a dog, but sort of. It appears you have maybe already taken the other choice once tonight, Monsieur Latrine. We need to get you inside to get you a change of clothes.
I have had a night like you would not believe.
Oh, let us go. Look over there. It is Cafe Rene. Keep your heads down. There are friends inside. You found yourself on the outskirts of the town of Nouvion and the town square, with the archway that heads off more towards the direction of the chateau. But you have Cafe Rene in the corner. You have the butchers, the florist. Butchers, of course, very important bit of news for those watching. There's 20% off at the butchers every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday as
Every
well.
Tuesday.
Every Tuesday.
Good deal.
Every Tuesday. There's the florist, there's the pissoir, there's but other than that, it's deserted. It's quiet. Lights are off. At this time, it's 11:30. Everything's closed up for the evening. There's a couple of slight like candle lights in a couple of the upstairs rooms.
Mm.
The only sound you can hear is a slight giggling coming from two of the upstairs windows at Cafe Rene, and you can see sort of a shadow. It appears to be an egg whisk, and there seems to be some celery flapping around in another window. But apart from that, that's all that you can hear and see. And Michelle leads you over to the doorway of the cafe. Now, quick! He is expecting you. I will disappear like a phantom. He has been told to give you a bed for the night, a change of clothes, and feed you. I will be back tomorrow. Until then, au revoir.
Au revoir. À matin.
And
Au revoir.
she vanishes into the night like a phantom, leaving you outside the side door of Cafe Rene.
Okay, I will try the door and see if we can get inside without making any fuss.
The door is locked.
Then in that case, I will try softly knocking on it.
There's a pause, and inside, who is it?
It is I, Philippe Latrine.
Oh, come in! And you hear this sort of clattering around, and the door swings open, and there's a slightly balding, middle-aged man looking up at you. He's in his night clothes. He looks slightly stressed and frustrated. Behind him, a lady in her night clothes, her hair up in rollers, her face masked in like a cream for sleeping. 2 slices of cucumber in her hands. squinting over him at you. And he looks you up and down. Who are you?
I was told you would provide me a place to stay and change of clothes.
He looks over to you, Gerard, as well. And you?
Gerard leans into Philip and whispers into his ear. The next time we need a corpse for the coffin, we should choose her. I am Gerard Fard.
Carry on. Sorry, I was ahhing myself. I wasn't for the thing. Sorry.
Friend of Philippe, also in need of a bed and some food, but not so much the clothes.
Fad. Oh yes, Michel of the Resistance told me. You are the two new Resistance. Please come inside. Quick. Did anyone follow you?
No.
Well, I followed him.
I followed
Michel. It's a very narrow door.
He rolls his eyes somewhat. And quickly he locks the door, pulls the little curtain over the window again. It's sort of open to look at you. And you appear to be in a room that seems to be like that would have been maybe a back room at the time, but it's laid out with a table as if it's some half cleared up plates, like 2 plates, one at each end of the table, like used as a private room for private diners, I'd say. And he stands there. It's been half cleared up. He says, okay. Well, the rooms of Michel and Yvette, they are busy right now, and I cannot take you upstairs because the colonel and the captain are there, and they must not see you. The cupboard of my wife's mother is full of airmen, and I cannot take you out the front. As, tonight you will sleep in the cellar. It is not so nice, but there are some blankets. There is a wheel of cheese down there, and I will send down 2 baguettes for you to eat, and maybe a small glass of wine. So he looks at his wife. He says, "Make sure they are small glasses of wine." And he says, "Now, gentlemen, follow me." And he lights a candle, and he goes to lead you down, and that is where we will end for this evening.
Brilliant. Fantastic.
Wonderful
Thank
stuff.
you.
Thoroughly enjoyable. Thank you guys very much.
And we have made it to Cafe Rene.
We've made it to Cafe Rene.
Soon to be heroes of France.
Yes. I feel we're well on the way.
Yes. Yeah.
It started strongly.
We've already freed a resistance horse. And evaded capture twice, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, you did well.
Absolutely right.
So all is well. Things are looking up.
Exactly. You're going wonderfully. You're living the dream.
And most importantly, we didn't get exploded thanks to the fine reactions of Philippe.
Oh, what a guy.
Cheers.
Yeah. Here's to you, Philly. Bravo.
Well, thankfully, it turns out that my skill set, for no adequately explored reason, gives me a couple of D8s, which have been very handy a couple of times, and I've got a D4 occasionally. Very useful.
You've done well out of that, haven't you? Nothing's bad at all. I might have to get stricter with the dice. No, I like to throw it out. The whole point of the rule set as we made it was because we were, things like Traveller and this and that, where you can argue it. You could argue it, and if I don't, I'd expect you to argue it, that you could use it. So, but yeah. So thank you, the two of you. You're doing very, very well. Well, you're not. You're doing very badly, but you seem to be having a good time. That's the important thing.
I think it's badly in the way that things tend to go badly in hello.
It feels
if everything went to plan, there'd be no hilarity.
Yeah, exactly. So thank you, both of you. Thank you for those watching. We do appreciate you. Those that hung out with us and stayed the course or joined and stayed, we do appreciate that an absolute load. And if you watched on VOD or on YouTube, we appreciate you getting this far. We hope you enjoyed it. The ongoing story every couple of months or so. Just a little bit of fun on a Saturday night. Needed sometimes. Next week, I believe, is a Traveller and a Tony and Rudy weekend. There's no reason why it's not a Traveller, is it?
No, it's a Traveller weekend, I'm sure.
Traveller Friday.
Yes, Traveller and Tony and Rudy next time.
Lovely.
Which should be lovely. So, yes, Traveller on Friday, Tony and Rudy on Saturday with the amazing John, who is, just a superstar. The Greek god of role-playing games. He's wonderful.
Oh, he's the Adonis of the Baltic Star. What a man.
I was going to say we should come up with a name for the Greek god of role-playing games, but it's John. We've already got one. You mentioned it.
Turns out it's John Legitimate.
Yeah. Who'd have thought?
Yanis the bear. Yanis the bear. Well,
that's the constellation.
That's true. That's what the Greeks call it. But I'm at Bombshell. Good night, everyone. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you all soon. Thank you, Ben. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you both.
Always a pleasure.